I mean, the fact that the conversation is now finally at the forefront is certainly a reflection of a Eurocentric view for that order historically. I mean, obviously it came out of the crisis in Europe. The First World War and the Second World War is what gave us the United Nations, is what gave us the foundations of that world order. So fair enough that there was a certain Eurocentric or transatlantic focus. But that is, the reality is many of us have seen the breakdown of that rules-based order, and the reality that might makes right being very much front and center well before the crisis. I very much actually heartened with all that's going on and all the suffering that's being caused by the multitude of wars that we are now dealing with, that actually the conversation is finally taking front and center, that the system isn't working, that it hasn't delivered. It's something that a lot of us have believed for well over a decade, and I think, you know, if 2014 wasn't, you know, enough of a wake-up call, that was unfortunate. But in any case, now, for the first time, I'm actually hearing, even among the great powers, even, you know, when you talk, obviously, you know, the US is leading on some of these things and trying to address these deficiencies, but even within Europe, where there was for a long time an attachment to symbolism rather than the realities on the ground. And, you know, you saw that even when, you know, we tried to address conflicts in various parts of the world, where some of these ideals were kind of an obstacle to actually having real substantive discussions about what are the drivers of these conflicts and how do we try to mitigate those drivers so that those conflicts come to an end. So I'm, to some extent, actually more optimistic than I was last year, because we are actually having these conversations in a much more honest and transparent way, including among the friends in Europe who were, let's say, the most ardent, not adherents, but supporters of the old system, and those that were least willing to admit that it was broken.